Copper Valley. Did I get it?
Nope.
Oh shit.
You know, I feel like we're like a little in elevation right now.
The airfield's elevated?
I feel like we're a little altitude right now, dude. Just a little altitude.
Yeah, oh yeah, goals, one day. One day. Yeah, I know, it's a little hot actually, right? My fragile San Francisco body. It's like 62 degrees and I'm like, it's so hot. I have a short torso, so
longer legs.
I can't fit lungs into the torso. And heart. I need more room for lung and heart.
It's called EPO.
Oh. Bro, not on camera. They're gonna test me after my Cat 3 mid-pack win. Exactly. Or I mean mid-pack finish, they're gonna test me, you know.
Solid.
What are those?
On there. Yeah, from a distance, dude.
Oh my god, he glued them on. You gonna win today?
No. Yeah, I'm gonna lead you out though. Heard it here.
I don't believe it. Alright, welcome back. We are at the 2024 Copper Valley Circuit Race. This is the Elite 3-4 race. I've never done this race before, the Copper Valley race, but I've always been interested in it. And one of the appealing things is incredibly good pavement, super fast racing, and kind of this out and back course that it looks like a straight line on the map, but it's actually not a straight line. We do a U-turn at the end of each point, right, and flip around. So it makes it really interesting racing because you can actually see who's up the road, if there's a breakaway, kind of count or see like how many seconds do they have, or are we gaining or losing ground to that, etc. But we're off. I'm supposed to be the protected sprinter on the day. That does not go as planned. We'll go into that. You're gonna have to tell me, did I make a big mistake or not? But the first potential mistake comes 1 minute into the race, where I see Velo and Tarun go for a very, very, very early break. And I figure, well, why not see what happens? So the Tarun rider initiated this breakaway. Velo went, I went to get our team in there. Tarun, Velo, Velo Kings, and my team Dolce Vita are the 4 largest teams represented here. So I figured let's go for it. You know, early on, feeling good. Let's see what happens. Well, we start rolling turns, and right here I tell the Velo rider, hey, the Tarun rider isn't pulling through. This is really early into the race. Let's just... Hey man, Tarun's not pulling with us. You can hear it right here. Let's put a pin in it if he's not gonna pull. Yeah, okay. I say let's forget this, man. This is a 60-minute race. It's alright. We need everyone if we're gonna do it. Yeah, that's okay. No hard feelings. We're good. So it was the last race, so this Tarun rider initiated the break, and he had raced earlier in the day, and basically I think he was just there just to kind of pull people out, like, that were kind of just disrupt the race, right? Like, he has no intention of taking that break anywhere. He won his last race. Good for you, good job. But I got duped by him, and right, his teammates are sitting back there doing nothing. We just took the U-turn. The U-turn is not significant other than you just have to turn around. So it's really not a big deal. Oh, here we go. Michael King goes off the front to bridge across to a threatening breakaway that has 4 other riders in it, one of which is Mitchell Neal on the Velo Kings team. So Mike puts in a monster effort from the front. You don't really want to be chasing or bridging from the front like that without any momentum to help carry you up, but he went for it. I immediately get in front and start putting in Z2 watts to give them a large amount of road, right? So Penn Velo is not in this break. Tarun is not in this break. Velo Kings is in this break, but I don't actually know it, which becomes a problem later in the race. We'll get into that as well. But right now, all is good, right? We have 5 people in this race. We are in the break. All the rest of us on Dulce have no responsibility to pull at this point. We're Gucci. We're like, great. We got the guy in there. We're ready to go. So let's move on and see what happens. Finally, the response comes from Alto Velo's in this race too. So it comes from Alto Velo, Penn Velo, and of course Tarun, who are not in there. So there's the break. You got to see it going the other way really quick, and then we make our U-turn. Yeah, maybe 10 or 15 seconds at this point. It's not significant, but you know, I'm not gonna help pull it back. I'm just gonna stay in the wheels. I encouraged Mike to lay the hammer down and go, man, go. Ultimately, it doesn't work out. That's Mike on the left. He just got tailed off. They were riding super hard, and Mike just could not keep up the pace and recover, and he eventually just fell out the back of this thing because it was going so hard. And at that point, the alarm bells go off. We're no longer sitting in, right? So as a team, we need to chase. And that's what we start doing. I get on the front and just start drilling it. Now, I'm the protected sprinter on the day, but when I saw this break go with it started with 5 and it went down to 3 riders in it. So the break was going hard enough to where 2 people literally just fell out, Mike and one other guy. And I said, well, we're the largest team here, and in our pre-race chats, I said, if we're not in the break, we need to actually, like, as a team, assemble, right? So I'm no longer gonna, I made the choice that I'm no longer gonna sit in and just be a sprinter and be a lazy sprinter. I said, I'm gonna go to the front and try to pull this thing back, because frankly, we didn't have many other teammates like assembled, right? Like, we weren't really working in a super cohesive unit. We never had 4 riders on the front rotating, and it's a product of our team not riding so much together, I think, and not being super coordinated. So now it's Tarun, Penn Velo, and my team Dulce all trying to pull back these 3 riders, in addition to the independent riders. And Velo Kings here at this point has been slowing us up. We're like halfway or 3/4 way through this race, and we've been chasing them now for 25-30 minutes, and we're not able to catch them. And at some point, my teammate Tim said, hey, Velo Kings is in that breakaway, and we cannot let them get on the front and set a false tempo. So that's what you're seeing here. Teammate Ringo is on the front driving the pace. I get on the front and drive the pace. Anytime Velo Kings get to the front, someone needs to jump in front of them and not let them slow the pace up. So that's kind of where we're on. We're on our heels. This is really tough, and there wasn't a lot of cohesion in the group. We did have people either pulling too hard, attacking the pace line, breaking it apart, not allowing the turns to roll through. So now you can see the gap again, and the gap grow. Like, that was a bigger gap than earlier on in the race, so they extended it out a little bit, even with us chasing. So it's kind of tough. Now we've jumped forward pretty far at this point. That's the break ahead of us. You can kind of see them if you squint your eyes, and I think we're gonna do it. And we're on the last lap, right? So importantly, we're on the last lap. And the cohesion starts to break down. There's this sense of like, either we're gonna get them or we're not, but the time to play nice is over, right? It's time to go. And the idea of, hey, we're gonna work as a symbiotic unit, even though we didn't really all race very well, has totally gone. And now everyone's trying to eat each other's lunch. This is the final time around the far corner U-turn. My plan is to sit on Mike's wheel and try to go to the front. If you guys heard some crunching, that was him dropping his chain in the U-turn. I look over, see that, and literally write him off. I say like, oh, well, there goes that. I need to get a new plan. I rode up along Ringo here, and I said, hey, do you have a lead out? To which he said, yeah, let's go for it. I'm trying to recover, but I have been taking monster pulls all race, right? Should I have been? You maybe tell me in the comments if you think it was right for me to blow up my role as protective sprinter and do everything in my power to pull back the breakaway. I know my teammates were not super happy about that. But what we just saw was the end of my GoPro's footage. Unfortunately, my GoPro died, and it was a 60-minute race. It was a pretty hot day, and the battery just didn't last the full length of this race. I'll give you the cliff notes on what happened. Ringo did an amazing job pulling me to the front of the pack. I started surfing wheels to try and stay up at the front and position myself for the final sprint. The final sprint is into a downhill. It's a rare case that we have a downhill sprint. Usually organizers don't do it just because it gets really dangerous because speeds get so high. I'm surfing wheels, I'm doing what I can, but I am totally gassed. I have burned all the matches, the match book, and tomorrow's match book as well in the race so far. And what it comes down to is I did not have the kick. I got to the front a little bit too early, and I misjudged where the finish line was. I ended up with 2 guys in front of me and then almost nobody in front of me, and everyone came around me super fast. I think the finish speeds of the sprint were over 40 miles an hour, like 42 miles an hour peak speed was hit. I fully spun out my gears. I was running a compact chain set. I was 50-11, and I was totally spun out in the sprint. Not that I really had a lot of fitness or energy left to do more, but spinning out didn't help. And yeah, so this was a really hard race. I'll put some power numbers up, but I normalized almost 290 watts, which is just insane for 60 minutes. For me, that's really high. My FTP is somewhere around there. So really crazy hard race for me and for everyone really who fought to claw back the break. We didn't catch them. So this is what really sucked is they kept us at bay and had maybe a 10-second gap at the end. So our sprint was for 4th. There were 3 riders in that breakaway. Hats off to those guys. Hats off to Mitchell and the other 2 who rode out of their skin for probably 35 or more minutes to keep us off their tails. So good job to you guys. Incredible effort, incredible teamwork, I'm sure, to keep that up and fight off 30 guys who are all trying to get to you most of the race, or at least half the race. So yeah, we'll do it again. Fun race. I want to come back for this one for sure. It's a little far away traveling from SF, but it is a super fun race course that should not be missed. If you can make it out for this Copper Valley race, do it. The pavement is awesome. The course is pretty fun. It doesn't favor any type of specific fitness or body type. You can make moves happen regardless of where your strengths are, probably. Yeah, come out and do it. It's a good time. With that, we're calling it a day. See ya.